All right. This is Aljets, and this is my biweekly. Um, I made the list of the OIT variants and their substrates, what picks up and what doesn't, marked by 1 is 0. Found 33 variants out of all those papers. I really think that's the right number that we know right now. I took a long time. And some of the papers had the nucleic acid and the gene that encoded it and the change in that. And some of them had the amino acid change in the actual OITP. Um, I just wrote down everything. I tried to at least. Um, and there's a lot of amino acids, but I've I think it's at least half nucleic acids, which might be bad, it might be fine. I guess I'll see. And I also watched Theo's docking tutorial, took notes on it. It does seem logical. It does seem like it makes sense to me going through, this leads to this leads to that. Um, Definitely not going to get it on the first try. A little scared about that, but eventually I'll figure it out, I believe. Um, then I gathered some the post-translational modifications papers and have their citations and endnote. Wasn't quite sure what you want me to do with those, but I have them. So, and then the next 2 weeks start generating the variant structures using AlphaFold. Plug them in. I'm hoping it'll just be plug and chug. I haven't spent that much time around AlphaFold, only a little. Seemed fairly intuitive. I mean, I think there was like a help bar too, so I should be able to figure out, I'd imagine. Um, and then after that, either use Rosetta or AutoDock to dock each drug to those structures. I was like, is each drug or substrate either way? Well, um, is that just things that are marked 1 on the spreadsheet that are, like known substrates, or like I don't know, like what's the deal with that? Because if I went through all 200 of the substrates on the things for each 33 variants, I'd assume it would take a long time and suck. So yeah, I'm assuming it's going to take a while either way, because I am not very familiar with anything in this, especially the workflow. That would be scary. Lots of what does this mean? We'll go to Theo. Um, and then the article, it was, I don't know what the title is. It was one of the ones that a lot of the substrate data came from, because they gathered a bunch of it for this, a bunch of substrate data and inhibitor data. So they were trying to find like how structures of either inhibitors or substrates like kind of affect their activity. Kind of struggled a little bit because they kind of said there's not enough substrate data to come up with any conclusions really at all. For inhibitors, they could find like a couple of categories to sort them in. I don't really know specifics about them because it seemed really complicated when I tried reading it. Um, and then a couple things that I saw throughout the article that were interesting. So they're interested in pan-interacting scaffolds, which, obviously go to like will work with multiple things. Pan. Um, I kind of thought it was similar to like, oh, using ASR to try to get a really old um, you know, protein that like works with a bunch of things, or works in a bunch of ways, or does multiple um functions or whatever. Or just, the OITPs trying to take in lots of different drugs instead of like super specific or nothing, no drugs, as it is now, kind of. Um, and they also had a workflow that takes the name of something and turns it into like a written identifier for the structure, um, which is exactly what I was doing for the for finding the Smiles codes of the I think it was the Alzheimer's drugs. Yeah, yeah. So that would have been nice, but it didn't work for 41 of these substrate names, because I guess it was not the right deal. It didn't there was like too many um, similar names or something. But they just had to like look them up old school like I did for 41 of them. So questions I have, not really sure what a workflow is, how to get it to work. I kind of would appreciate like, you explaining it to me like I'm five, kind of just like the basics of how I would find it, how I would, not operate it, but kind of go about attacking it. Um, and then I guess because I'm taking a data science-ish class, the CMSC 201 next semester, and also poking around some of the like data sciencey minors, and MSU doesn't require discrete math, which seems kind of applicable to computer science or um, data science or kind of stuff like that. And Michigan does. So I guess I don't know, just kind of wondering about how why that is, why MSU kind of went a different direction. I guess I don't know. Just curious. Um, and then alpha fold structure and primal structures seem super similar. I think they're the same file or something. I don't know. I was just wondering if there was any difference, or if I can just treat it exactly like I would on Primal, looking at different things, or labeling different things or whatever. Um, if it's the same, pretty much. So yeah, that's it.